This week on the Bubble Chat.
It's a scheme that Sierra has set up. Sierra said another team, another baby nigga, another win, another ring. We ain't gonna take no shorts. I'm out here singing, and I'm getting old boys getting frail back, can't flip no more, but I'm flopping out here.
Heart goes out to her, definitely, because nobody, mother, father, grandparent wants to welcome a child that you may not know that she may outlive. That's very heartbreaking.
The main problem I see is that there are paparazzi who will jump out the blue, take photos of a celebrity doing something completely mundane and personal, like just filling up their car with gas, strictly for a paycheck. I honestly find that so unprofessional.
So why are we operating as if we are clueless in high school? I don't know. But we will be reminded that those women were in their 30s being high schoolers. Now they were acting, they were actresses. This is real life. What is really going on? But I will remind you, Hillary, Mandy, and Ashley, you bitches is knocking at the door of 40. So why must we behave as if we are still adolescents or in high school?
Hey, as Kenny sat down in their sit down with Emmett Hall, this can happen to anyone. And let's not forget, they have a daughter. They shouldn't have to worry about her growing up and seeing AI generated lies about her parents that could be deeply traumatizing.
But I'm trying to put myself in like not to call him an old dirty man,
So the
but I'm
play,
not going to put myself in like an old man perspective. If you got something cute and fine in front of you, you gonna snap and you gonna look.
oh no. Shoulder
You know,
blades sliding up and down my shin, not gonna make me feel good. That's gonna be
you
irritating.
talking about the dude that had the little grippy grip in there, right? It wasn't innocent, but it wasn't bad. I'm just gonna say that because I did see the clip and it was in an uproar. Everybody was like, "Oh, he copped the feel. He copped the feel." Be acceptable too if an old man is feeling on me. But I feel like he was just being respectful. Like, were y'all raised at the church? Because I was.
What the fuck is poppin', everybody? And welcome back to the Bubble Chat. I am your host, Adonis Downstairs, with my team, nephew, and someone who is very special that we will introduce to you guys later. I am so incredibly glad that you have decided to hit play and join our circle today. Now, you know how this shit goes. It moves fast and the noise get loud. Sometimes you just need a place to pull back and turn down the volume from the outside world and really get into the stuff that really matters. This is exactly why we built this space.
In every episode, we're stepping inside the bubble to explore the ideas and stories and trends that are shaping our lives right now. Whether we're discussing a shift in the culture, deep diving into a personal breakthrough, or just catching up on the things that makes us think this is your curated escape from the chaos. It's about high energy insights and low pressure vibes, all wrapped into one.
We're just skimming the surface here, though. Our goal is to bring you conversations that feel like the late night talk with a best friend, and the kind where you lose track of the time because because of your connection is so real. We're going to challenge some old ways of thinking, celebrate the wins, and maybe even find some senses of humor in the messy part of being human. I have a very special, exciting announcement to share. We are currently exploring the possibility of expanding our little circle. That is the Bubble Chat panel. And I am thrilled to introduce a new panel co-host who will be joining us in the bubble today. Most of you already know her as Tisha Talks, the powerhouse behind her self-entitled podcast, where she has become the go-to voice for the latest tea and the most talked about gossip. We're currently in the see how the magic happens this phase. So we couldn't be more excited to see how sharp in her wit. I'm sorry, this is a lie. Most of you already know her as Tisa Talks, the powerhouse behind her self-titled podcast, where she's become the go-to voice for the latest tea and the most talked about gossip. We are currently in the see how the music happens phase, but we couldn't be more excited to see her sharp wit and her insider energy might shake it up in here. Please give a warm bubble chat. Welcome to Tisha May.
Yeah.
Welcome to the panel. This is my new partner in crime.
Thank you. Get
How
into
you
it. Get
doing?
into it.
Tisha, how does it feel to be in the bubble chat? And what are you most looking forward to?
Oh my gosh. Well, at first I was nervous, but what I'm looking forward to is just, getting into it and having somebody to talk back to, somebody to talk back to me. Like this is all about connections and, just getting into it. I love yapping, so let's do it.
Alrighty, well, in the words of Wendy Williams, let's get started. It's time for our topics. How you doing?
What we
How
doing?
you doing?
All right, well, we have to
Oh,
talk about.
Adonis, do you also have another announcement or you want to keep that in the radar?
No, there is a comedy competition going down next month, February, I believe, the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th at the Henry J. Kaiser, and yours truly has officially applied for the competition. I'm super excited. This is something I'm thinking about, like American Idol or America's Got Talent. I'm going to be in the runnings with a lot of other talented comedians, but I hope that they can see the Star Spangled Banner that is upon me. And if by chance that I don't win, I'm still going to win because I'll land a contract or business, a deal, something's coming, something's coming. Curating, I'm throwing myself out there, spaghetti on the wall, let it stick. Yep. But look, let's get on right here with the roster. So we have to talk about the bombshell Russell Williams, who just dropped during his locker clean out. So Russ finally admits that back in week 2, right before the massive shutdown against the Cowboys, he actually suffered a grade 2 hamstring tear. But here's the kicker. He didn't tell us so. He kept it completely off the books, played through the pain, and somehow put up a 450 yards in the overtime thriller. Now, the NFL is sniffing around because, as we know, the league is incredibly strict about injury reporting. If the Giants knew and didn't report it, then they're looking at some serious fines. Russ is out here doing damage control, claiming that he kept the training staff in the dark to make sure he could stay on the field, even though he admitted he probably couldn't have run 10 yards if he tried. The irony is that he even went to Dallas Mavericks facility to get secret treatment just to make it to kickoff. It's a classic dangerous behavior, trying to be the hero, but it's leaving the Giants with a potential parting gift of league investigation. So, Crew, I have to ask you, in the league where gambling and transparency is now everything, is Russell Williams a warrior for playing through a tear, or was this a incredible selfish? No. Or was this move incredibly selfish considering the legal and financial trouble it could bring the team?
I'll start. Why don't we go ahead and start with you, Teach, since you're potentially new to our family.
Ladies fight.
Well, thank you. Child, I don't know. When it comes to sports, it's tricky because people do be gambling on their favorite players. So I get it. But then you have to think about his livelihood. Like football is his life. I'm gonna say that's all he know, but that's all we know him to know. So him pushing through it, I don't know. Get that money. I'm for that part. I'm for him pushing through it. What y'all
Donnie?
think?
It's a scheme that Sierra has set up. Sierra said another team, another baby nigga, another win, another ring. We ain't gonna take no shorts. I'm out here singing, and I'm getting old, voice getting frail, back can't flip no more, but I'm flopping out here. So she said, "You're gonna do the same thing." She said, "Do you remember Chadwick Boseman?" That's
Ooh,
probably what she was whispering to that nigga in the ear at night. You remember Chadwick Boseman?
may I chime in? Isn't
Shoot.
he the one always getting her pregnant though? I'm just saying.
But
Like he
they,
be
girl, they fucking each other at this point.
well, I get that, but he be the
Another
one
team,
pushing for a
another
new
baby,
baby.
another ring. We don't play these games.
Ooh, you get both?
We don't play no games. Let's
That's
keep
selfish,
the
man.
sexy, subtle old Sophia. Remember Sophia from The Color Purple?
Yes.
Yeah,
Played
she
by
said,
Oprah
"Hold this
Winfrey in the
baby, build this
1995
house."
version of The Color Purple.
Yes, Oprah Winfrey, aka Sophia, told Hoppo ass, "Give me a baby, hold this baby, and build me a house at the same damn time." I think the same thing Sierra said. New team, new ring, and a new baby. Hit the field, sir. That's what she said. What you
Alrighty.
think?
I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb here and say what probably needs to be said. While the highlight reels make this look like a legendary flu game moment, to me personally, I would have been straight to the hospital or at the very least glued to an ice pack. I know these guys are in the football field are built different, but a grade two tear isn't just a tweak. You're talking about an actual muscle fiber being ripped. And if I feel that pop, the only huddle I'm joining is with the medical staff. Now, don't get me wrong, learning this now makes me respect the performance even more. To put up
Yeah.
450 yards when you essentially have, excuse me,
Bubble
Yeah.
guts?
yes, to put up, but I was saying to put up 450 yards when you essentially have one functioning leg is high level wiggly, and I'm glad he was able to push through it with his leg literally given out national TV. But the conditioning of a hamstring tear is a fickle thing. And one wrong plant on the foot, and that grade two becomes a grade three, which is surgery and a year of rehab. I mean, at the end of the day, we always hear that major league sports, especially the NFL, are not for the faint of heart. We're talking about a game of car crashes every Sunday. There are serious life-altering risks every time you snap that chin strap. And for Russell, he clearly decide that the reward of the Dallas game outweighed the risk of permanent damage. He was listening to his body, sure, but he was also telling his body to shut up and get to the finish line. It's a fine line between bravery and being a bit reckless with your future, but man, does it make for a one wild story.
Let me double back real quick. I know I put a lot of heavy hay on Sierra. But now I'm thinking about it, as I said, new team, new baby, new ring. I mean, like he probably didn't want to fuck up the money of the contract he just signed.
Yeah, he did
You
just
know
do
what I'm saying?
that.
They didn't pay you so many million dollars. You done came to the team. Nigga say what? He was like, I'm gonna keep this to myself. Let me worry about it. Don't even
To
worry.
come to work injured is
Don't even
kind
worry.
of crazy.
Yeah, it's just like a little boy having a splinter. He not gonna tell you. It don't hurt. It don't hurt. Trying to get that bag and that baby.
For the money that they get paid, I push through it too. I don't care. Look, I don't play those sports, but I'm trying to think if I was in his place. Because football is a lot. People think, basketball is you dribbling, but football, you bumping into people. I don't know the positions now, but that's a lot. He is pushing himself, but for the money, I push it through too. I'm sorry.
Like us
Shoot.
whispering, remember Chadwick Boseman?
Trying to tell you, he worked through it. He worked through it.
Well, what's next on the docket? Come on now, T Mac.
Okay, well, switching gears to something that really hits home, we're going to be talking about singer Jessie Nelson. Now, if you're not familiar with Jessie, you'll likely know her as a former member of the powerhouse UK girl group Little Mix, which is something that I've been listening to through my teens, and or her single Boys with Nicki Minaj. She recently took to social media to share some incredibly heavy news regarding her 8-month-old twins, daughters, Ocean and Story. We definitely want to start off by sending her nothing but positive vibes, strength, and well wishes. It's a situation that truly puts everything else into perspective. For those who haven't seen the update, Jessie revealed that both of her twins have been diagnosed with type 1 spinal muscular atrophy, also known as SMA. This is a severe genetic condition that affects the motor neurons, basically the cells that control muscle movement. It's been a grueling journey for her family, and the twins were born prematurely back in May. And after months of appointments and noticing that were they weren't hitting certain physical milestones, they received this life-altering diagnosis. Jesse was very transparent about the reality of his situation. Doctors at Great Ormond Street Hospital have told her that the girls will likely never be able to walk or ever regain full neck strength, and that is the most severe disease that a baby can get if it is left untreated. It Because if it is left untreated, life expectancy is lowered to 2 years of age. It's heartbreaking. It's a heartbreaking position for any parent to be in. And Jessie admitted that she felt like she's given the life she imagined for them. But in the same breath, she's showing incredible resolve of saying that she truly believes that her growth will defy the odds and fight this every step of the way. So to my co-host, we often seen celebrities share the perfect parts of parenthood, but Jesse's being raw about a very difficult reality. How do you think public figures opening up about these types of medical battles changes is the ways we support one another, and does it help take the stigma away from living with a disability? It's a lot.
That is like my heart goes out to her. Definitely. Because nobody, mother, father, grandparent wants to welcome a child that you may not know that you may outlive them. That's very heartbreaking. Celebrities often do share the like beautiful parts of it, but not everybody, regardless if you have the money or not, everybody has their own problems. Not every child is born perfect. We all have our own, I won't say disabilities, or something that's just different, what society wouldn't call normal. As far as, her sharing this part, this is very heavy because it's like you can hear medical diagnosis with her saying that they may not have more than a 2 life year span. That's heartbreaking. Like, how do you even want to continue after that?
I actually had the opportunity to take the time and watch Jesse's video in its entirety, and honestly,
Mhm.
you could just hear it in her tone of her voice. This is like by far the most heartbreaking news she has ever received. And you
Mm.
can feel the weight of that fear through the screen. It's the kind of news that no parent anywhere ever wants to hear. And to be told that their babies will likely face a life disability is one thing. But to hear that their life expectancy could be shortened to just by 2 years if left untreated, that is absolutely shocking. And I just can't even begin to imagine the level of heartbreak and terror she's navigated over these last few months. And just to give you a little bit of more context on why this is so serious, a study from the Cleveland Clinic notes that type 1 SMA is actually the most common form diagnosed in about 60% of cases. The symptoms usually show up within the first 6 months of life, which aligns what with what Jessie saw when she noticed that the twins weren't hitting those early milestones. It moves pretty fast and it's very aggressive. On a much lighter note and more hopeful note, I am just so incredibly thankful that Ocean and Story were able to receive the treatment. And the reality is that without these medical advancements, the result could have been fatal. And that is a thought too heavy to even hold. So the fact that they have a fighting chance now is everything. And I'm personally just leaning on faith and praying for a miracle for those two little girls and for Jesse actually navigates this new reality. How do you feel about it, Donis?
Speaking as a father, I want to say that children are precious blessings and gifts from God. I don't know how old the young lady is. She seems young. She's a child star, right?
Somewhat.
But I don't want to change the subject, but I want us to really look at something, okay? As I said, children are precious blessings from God. But sometimes, in most cases in today, in our modern society and in our culture, we can go to a specialist and a doctor, and they will extract your eggs and freeze them. And we can incubate them and we know, oh, you can have a girl or a boy or twins or this or that.
Yes, science.
And forgive me for what I'm gonna say, but Angela Bassett has twins. They used to look fucked up. Ain't nothing wrong with them now. Because we all went through an odd phase. They used to look fucked up, right? Mariah Carey, Monroe, and that other baby.
Mhm.
Rocco and Monroe.
Rock and roll. Go ahead.
Head hella big and she about blind, okay? But they growed up now, they're getting better.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't want to sabotage my career before I start. Rumi and Sir.
Gonna say the beehive gonna get you. Watch it.
Then now listen. These pregnancies were all induced or coerced by scientists. It was not 100% natural. the eggs that God gave you, the sperm that He blessed us with, the things that we make together, that is a precious blessing from Him. Sometimes when we take alternative routes, we end up with alternative results. Now, back to the baby at hand and the subject. I'm happy that in this case of this child's condition, that the parents actually are in a position to pay for the care.
It do get expensive.
A lot of children that are born, they're not going to have the access that her kid, her child, or twins are going to have. I'm praying for all children, at whatever the L condition or the subject is. But I want us to be very, very mindful that children are precious blessings from God. And when you seek children outside of Him, then you need to be prepared for outside results.
And I think I
Okay.
also wanted to add something that I want to add, and I think is important for listeners, is that Jesse even mentioned that we shouldn't be comparing babies to other babies, really.
Want to respect that.
Yeah,
Hmm. Wait, hold on. She said don't compare her babies to other babies.
right.
Okay.
From what I've been know from the video. I don't know how she said it, but I just know that I just know that she was told not to compare. I just know that she said something about not comparing her babies to other babies. I don't like I said, I'm not 100% sure on how she said it though.
Yeah. Okay, okay.
We
We
praying for
moving on along?
Bubba
Yeah,
Chat.
I didn't hear you say that again.
We praying for all the kids. The Bubba Chat love all the kids.
All of them.
What's next?
All right, we have to talk about the Hannah Montana herself, Miley Cyrus at the Palm Springs International Film Awards because she gave a master class in setting boundaries. While hitting the red carpet to celebrate her Outstanding Artistic Achievement Award, a group of photographers started shouting, and I mean shouting, at her to take off her sunglasses. Now, we've all seen Miley grow up in the spotlight, but if there's one thing we know about her at 33, is that she don't take orders from anyone. In a video that's currently going viral, you can hear a cameraman yelling, no, no, no. The second she puts her shades on, Molly didn't just ignore it. She walked right up to him and said, if you yell at me, I do the opposite. I've known you for about 20 years. If you tell me not to put the glasses on, I will put them on. She even gave them a little advice on how to actually get what they want, saying if they just told her they love the glasses, she'd probably take them off just to be nice. It was the ultimate polite clapback. It's honestly refreshing to see. We've seen a wave of this lately. Stars like Chappelle Rowan and Millie Bobby Brown standing their ground against the often aggressive energy of the progressive line. Sorry, paparazzi line. So I want to toss this to the group. In the viral age of clapping back, do you think photographers are becoming too entitled or with how they treat talent on the red carpet? Or is this just part of the job description of a global superstar?
the main problem I see is that there are paparazzi who will jump out of the blue to take photos of a celebrity doing something completely mundane and personal, like just filling up their car with gas, strictly for a paycheck. I honestly find that so unprofessional. It's one thing to be a sanctioned event like the film awards, but it's another thing to turn a private moment into a commercial product without commission. When Miley comes back, she's not just being diva-ish, she's standing up against a culture that thinks its own her own image. Like if you're a photographer, you're there to document the event, not to act as a director for a person who didn't hire you. I think that I think more stars should follow her lead and remind everyone that at the end of the day, they are human beings, not fucking props for someone else's income.
I agree.
What you
Can
think?
I play devil's advocate for a second?
Of course.
So
Go
y'all
ahead.
telling me if I get paid, let's just say $3,000 to have the perfect picture of Miley Cyrus, and she got on her damn glasses, I'm not gonna tell her to take off her fucking glasses. Are you kidding me right now? You tell me I have the camera in my hand on my shoulder. She's right there. I probably wouldn't yell at her, but be like, hey, take the damn glasses. I want to see the whole look. Now, okay, me and Miley's the same age, clock it. So I can kind of say that, well, I'll be 33 in March, but I'm getting practicing, amen. So what I'm trying to say is at 33, heard the story of the paparazzi. Like they were fucking crazy, especially when we were younger, right? So the fact that she's a millennial and she's older, she can clap back, yes. She's not the first celebrity to clap back at paparazzi. She's not going to be the first and she's not going to be the last. But I feel like when you get paid for just taking a picture of somebody, shit, fuck the filter. You put the best vibe at that moment. Am I wrong? I didn't think I was, but let's hear another opinion.
I'm going to add that Miley is a young boss.
Clock it.
I mean,
she was Hannah Montana at a very young age.
Okay.
I'm like Britney, Christina, Pink, Katie. She bossing than all these hoes.
She can have a diva moment.
She's better than all of them. Her voice is boss, right? I'm going to say that maybe the photographer was in love with them pot of blue, beautiful blue eyes she had. And that's all he wanted. That's all he wanted was the little blue eyes in the film. And she gonna be that boss diva bitch she is and say, motherfucker, talk to me right, ask me, speak to me nice, speak sweet. I had to let you know who she was, the boss still. You know what Diana Ross said? I am the boss. Who is the boss?
Man.
She said, fuck Kelly. Let me take it all the way back to where it really began. And now I know who's the boss. That's all I was. Just want to let you know I'm still that girl, grown woman, and all respect the throne and all those things. She's the beast. I love it. I love it. Let them know. How you say there was just an intrusive act for them, nephew, as in to do that, to ask to make that request or whatever.
I'm sorry?
I said you felt that paparazzi was doing too much when they made the request.
Honestly, they are.
Too intrusive. Well, that's what the paparazzi is for. Remember, we lost the late great Princess Diana because the motherfucker was trying to get a picture.
That is true.
Yes. Next. Okay. Our next story is taking us right back to the hallways of East High with a suburban motherhood twist. Ashley Tisdale French just released a very candid essay for The Cut titled You're Allowed to Leave Your Mom Group. Oh my God. Where she details her decision to walk away from her toxic circle of friends. She didn't name names in the piece. The internet has already done its detective work. We're talking about a star-studded squad that includes the likes of Hilary Duff, Mandy Moore, and Megan Trainor. Ashley basically said that what started off as a supportive village quickly divulged into mean girl behavior, secret group chats, and constant snubs. The tea is actually pretty wild. She mentioned how the group would plan girls' hangs on her own daughter's birthday and leave her out, making her feel like she wasn't cool enough to be there. She eventually hit her breaking point, sent a text to the group saying that she was out, and has since unfollowed Mandy Moore and Hilary Duff on Instagram. It's a classic sense of playground politics and with some of the most famous faces of our childhood. So I've got to ask the group, when in a friendship group that starts feeling like a high school all over again, is it better to go out with a big bang text and a blog post like Ashley, or should you just let the friendship fade away quietly? First off, Mandy Moore, Hilary Duff, and old girl herself, you bitches is knocking at the door of 40. So why are we operating as if we are clueless in high school? I don't know. But we will be reminded that those women were in their 30s, then high schoolers. Now they were acting. You are actresses. This is real life. What is really going on? But I will remind you, Hillary, Mandy, and Ashley, you bitches is knocking at the door of 40. So why must we behave as if we are still adolescents and or in high school? On some celebrity type shit, the group chat. Why you put us in a group chat, girl, if you was trying to lead a motherfucker in the first place? How we get in a group chat?
Well, friend, they did say that they did the investigation, so maybe she didn't put us in.
I'm just saying, but you know, she knew what she was doing. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Messy boots, clocking. You know what I'm saying? Now here's the thing. The question that we asked was when in grown life adulthood shit start getting adolescent and high schoolers, what should you do? First off, if you're friends, real friends, you have to occupy the space of an uncomfortable conversation. That's what friends do. You have an uncomfortable conversation. And then guess what? Friends can agree to disagree, take accountability, or put clarity in for whatever situation we're talking about. And if you can't do any of those three things, then it's a coin toss. You banging out, or we just want to walk away. But before you do that, I believe that you have to occupy the space of facilitating an uncomfortable conversation for you or the other person because we're friends. Right?
Very true.
And all you bitches is for it. You got a great pubic hair on your body somewhere. I'm gonna just leave it alone.
Any extra thoughts, Tish?
Honestly, I would pick both. I want to cut ties, and then when I'm thinking clearly, because sometimes we be wrong in our thoughts. I mean, sometimes y'all, but not me. So what I'm saying is, I would definitely cut ties, and once I thought it through, I'm going out with the bang. I'm gonna come back and tell you that you ain't shit and never been shit. So I don't know. Honestly, to be piggyback off of what Adana said, they are all old hoes. Shade with no shade. So for y'all to do this high school girl chat stuff, it's petty. It's none of really our business. Y'all, girl, I don't know. Because Ashley Tisdale ain't been popular since High School Musical. Hillary Duff ain't been popping since Lizzie McGuire. I can't name not one Megan Trainor song without Nicki Minaj. So saying all of that to say, girl, we don't care.
I think it's pretty clear that the fundamental trust between Ashley and this group, or at least a few key people in it, is completely broken. I can't say for certain which specific cool mom was the primary catalyst for the split, but based on the social media activity, the evidence is definitely pointing towards Mandy and Hillary. I mean, when you start unfollowing people you've known for decades, that isn't just a break, it's a statement. Ashley mentioned that being in a group made her feel like she was back in high school. While I don't know her exact timeline from back in the day, there is a very real chance that she experienced that same outsider vibe during her actual teen years in the industry. And if those old wounds were being reopened by her supposed best friends, I don't blame her at all for wanting to distance herself. I mean, no one had that time for that kind of energy, especially when you're trying to raise your kids and manage a career. It really comes down to that old saying, when someone shows you for who they are, believe them. If you're being left
Fire.
out of a birthday hangs and ignored in the group chat, those people are showing you exactly where you stand in their lives. So actually choosing her peace over a star-studded friend group is actually a huge power move. It's a reminder that just because you have a history with people doesn't mean they have a place in your future.
Then I add one thing.
Go ahead.
Lindsay Lohan whipped them hoes when you see him at Sprouts. But wasn't Lindsay Lohan a part of the shit back in the day too? What
She
shit mean?
was getting into it with Hillary Duff, I know for sure.
And I'm talking about Lindsay
Those were over boys, I thought.
type of bitch in the produce aisle when you see him at Sprouts, Trader Joe's, or Whole Foods. I got your back.
Next, this topic is something I've touched on briefly before, but the story deserves all the attention it can get from this podcast. Legal expert and television judge Faith Jenkins and her husband and R&B singer Kenny Lattimore were the targets of a massive coordinated smear campaign on YouTube for months. I'm talking about dozens of AI-generated videos claiming they were getting a messy divorce, accusing Kenny of infidelity and even fabricating court documents. What makes this terrifying is how official it looks. The campaign was so aggressive that the Google search algorithm actually picked up these lies and started displaying their marital status as divorced. Faith and Kenny went on the Tamron Hall show last year and recently released their own documentary style expose to reveal what they found after filing sub subpoenas against Google. It turns out they weren't just random trolls. It was a mix of everyday people in the US and, more shockingly, anonymous operators in countries like Pakistan, Russia, and India pretending to be part of the Black celebrity news culture just to cash in on ad revenue. Faith isn't just stopping at uncovering the names. She's pushing for major policy changes at YouTube and Google. So I want to hear from the co-host. Now that we know these gossip channels are often coordinated operations from overseas using AI to destroy reputation for profit, do you think YouTube has made an oral obligation to verify the identify of the identity of anyone who gets paid to post news or would kill the freedom of their platform?
I go first.
Ladies first.
Okay, child. I feel like YouTube has kind of become the Facebook. Y'all remember how our parents would call us and say, "Oh, I saw this crazy story on Facebook," and you know damn well it's false. Like you know in your heart of hearts it's false, but having an older parent or just an auntie or somebody, they really believe that shit. I feel like YouTube don't really owe nobody. You could post whatever you want on there. I could post right now that I'm $1 million star, and it's up to you to believe that or not. Okay. I don't feel like this is necessarily YouTube's problem. Because at the end of the day, they are just a platform for somebody else to upload. But they can't upload it anonymously. It's always going to be under somebody's name. If it's getting revenue, somebody is getting paid. So honestly, I'm kind of upset that our jobs are being taken overseas now. Like, goddamn, we got to compete with them now. That sucks. But this ain't on YouTube. It's not. But AI is taking over, child.
AI, I believe, definition is active ignorance.
Ooh.
Explain. It's not the poster. It's not the person that posts. It's the people that read the little posties that are actively ignorant. Let me tell you the story. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Let me show you what happened.
Oh, gotta get juicy, y'all.
While Adonis is getting something, I just honestly want to start off by giving a massive round of applause to Faith and Kenny for actually filing this, to actually having the courage to file this lawsuit and seeing it through. Because to me, it's beyond disrespectful to create AI generated content that spreads blatant misinformation, especially when you're talking about something as sacred as a marriage. Doing it for clout is one thing, but weaponizing someone's reputation just to generate ad revenue, that is a whole different level of predatory. Faith and Candy have been married since 2020, and you can just tell that they take their relationship with the utmost seriousness. Marriage isn't just a status, it requires commitment, trust, honesty, and integrity. All these things, things that these AI generated videos were trying to tear down. And what I truly find disgusting, and I'm saying this based on research and the expose video that they released, which I've watched several times. If you haven't watched it, please go watch it. I will link it in the show notes. It's something that is that some of these videos allegedly claimed Kenny was sleeping with a man. It is a complete
Oh,
fabrication far from the truth. And it's shocking that platforms like YouTube and Google would even allow this level of targeted misinformation to stay live long enough to be picked up by search results. And as Kenny sat down in their sit down with Tamron Hall, this can happen to anyone. And let's not forget, they have a daughter. They shouldn't have to worry about her growing up and seeing AI generated lies about her parents that could be deeply traumatizing. You could just see in their faces that they were exhausted and overwhelmed. The process of filing this lawsuit was clearly hell on earth, and we know it wasn't cheap. So I actually praise them for speaking up and showing the world that you can fight back. We need to hold these anonymous creators accountable. And I hope to God that social media platforms finally set hard boundaries on AI generate content. It is if it's misinformation designed to destroy a family, it needs to be taken down. Period. No excuses.
Well, it got soaked in a bubble chat because nephew was on his soapbox. But you see this right here? I call this puppy fuckery. Now, on the commercial on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, this was a live dog. And it was running down the hallway. I have 4 of these little motherfuckers. I left 2 of them in the bag back there, but this is puppy fuckery, okay? And
Frank, you got bamboozled?
baby, I got pooch. Okay?
TikTok shop?
Let me tell you right now, yes. So I'm saying this to say that you can get fooled, but it was my active ignorance that fell into that these little doggies were real and that I could order them for $40 a piece. Now they were always fake dogs, but it was a real AI dog running down the hallway. It wasn't this. It was not this. This is puppy fuckery. But it was my active ignorance that led me to believe or wanted to believe that this was true and indeed a little pedigree pooch that I was going to get. It's a battery operated dog. But it was my own AI, my active ignorance that wanted to believe in something like this. There's a new young lady. She's not real. It looked like she's albino on one side. She's split down.
Seen her.
She's AI. I did a video on her. I called her a cookies and cream. What's that girl?
Cruella DeVille.
Cruella DeVille, something, and a such and such and a such and such. And then they were like, no, she's AI. And I'm like, and she's a fucking viral sensation. That video is like in its 700,000. I wanted to
He
go.
has lots of followers too.
Right? But the bitch ain't real. So
exactly.
I want you guys to think back. Now, you guys are a little bit younger than I am. There was a movie called Simone, starring Al Pacino. He was a movie director. And they made this AI bra. And she was an international superstar. All if I tell you they had mannequins pooched up trying to drive the car because paparazzi was trying to get pictures of her. But she was fake. She was fake. She was not real. She was AI. So, I mean, shit. Megan, the toy, the movie. Basically, that's a figment of AI, right?
It is.
Rumba vacuum cleaners.
Those AI?
Way more cars.
Are you talking about those robotic vacuums?
Yes.
Cleaners?
Yes, this is all AI. It's just
I've heard about Waymo.
Tesla is AI.
Would y'all really trust a car like that?
Artificially intelligent car. It's a smart car. Our Apple phones. It's AI. It's artificial intelligence picking up on what you're saying, what you're looking for, and then in your algorithm and your feed and all your sales sponsors, all what you were looking up. That's artificial intelligence.
Yes, indeed.
Adonis, really quick, I'm just curious to know if you have any thoughts on this lawsuit that Faith and Kenny are filing against those users, because if I was in that situation, I would be upset as well.
Okay, so when we talk about
basically there were videos consisting of misinformation that Faith and Kenny are divorced, which is far from true. The filing of the divorce is not even that quick, and there was misinformation about him, and And there was like numerous of videos that were going on and on and on and on and on. And it got to the point where Favorite can actually file a lawsuit against those creators that is for spreading this misinformation. So I'm just curious if you have any thoughts on this. Because like I said, if I was in that situation, I'd be upset.
It said that he was sleeping with the men's in there. It said he was sleeping with the men's. So I mean, this is scandal and salacious on top of gossip and AI. So it's
Right.
AI saying that you guys are getting divorced, but the details on why, if you're not divorced, not separated, if you're having marital issues, is because you're with the men's in there.
They were not divorced at all.
But no, I'm saying divorce, separated, or just marital issues. Are the details about the story, are they true? Is he sleeping with the men's in it? America want to know. At least I want to know. Hell, you know what I'm saying? Like his sexuality may be AI. How about that? His sexuality may be AI. Consider the facts. But what I will say is, it is unfair and disheartening that they are a target of this arena of AI. But who hasn't been affected by AI? I mean, I remember Bruce Jenner blew his cigarette out that damn limo, baby, and they caught that red and black fingernail polish from that nigga hands, and they were saying that it was fake and it was artifactually generated and all that shit. And it was real clear as all outdoor. So I will say AI, aka active ignorance, is a two-way street. It's not just the poster, it's the person that's reading the post that falls into that very, very unhealthy, untruthful cycle. Ain't that nothing? Ain't that nothing?
Nothing.
No. What's next, Tish?
All right, everyone. We're going to take a very quick beat to catch our breath. We have covered a lot of ground today, from red carpet showdowns and non-profit. Sorry, can I start over?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Okay. All right, everyone. We're going to take a very quick break to catch our breath. We have covered a lot of ground today, from red carpet showdowns and non-group drama to the serious fight against AI and misinformation. Don't go anywhere, because when we get back, we're wrapping things up and looking ahead to what's coming next week. You are listening to The Bubble Chat, and we'll be right back.
And we are back. I hope you all had a chance to refresh your drinks and stretch your legs, because we are diving straight into one of my favorite parts of the show. It's time for our throwback topic. This is the segment where we look into the rearview mirror at a massive pop culture moment that went down before the bubble chat even existed. These are the stories that broke down the internet so hard, and we're still feeling the aftershocks today. And honestly, I wake up some mornings just wishing we had been on the air to dissect in real time. Now, I've mentioned this in briefly in the passing before, but we have never really sat down to give it the bubble treatment. We're just going back to a time that feels like a fever dream, but was actually just a few years ago. What you got for us, Donnie?
Well, so for today's throwback topic, we're talking about the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin herself, but it's about her funeral and specifically the massive controversy around an Ariana Grande's appearance. If you remember, Ariana was invited to perform "You Make Me Feel Like I Feel," which she vocally absolutely crushed. Oh, but the internet didn't focus on her high notes. Instead, all eyes were on the black mini dress. Critics and church aunties across social media were in an uproar, claiming that the hemline was way too goddamn short for the motherfucking pulpit, especially for a homeborn service of a prestigious woman like the Queen Aretha Franklin. Some people even joked that her signature ponytail was longer than the dress. The conversation, the controversy took much more of a turn as the day went on. People noticed that Bishop Charles H. Ellis III seemingly touching her inappropriately while they were at the podium. Oh, and then there were viral pictures of Bill Clinton behind her that people said found leering Ooh, it sparked such a huge debate. Aretha was doing donuts in the casket, baby, for the world to see on CBS. It sparked such a huge debate that the focus on the dress all the way down to the dropping of the casket to the dirt. Well, or was this truly a matter of funeral etiquette that she missed the mark on? Now, y'all tell me what's going on. I like to go first because in the movie Soul Food,
Mm.
there was a hoochie. Vivica Fox said, we're going to beat that hoe down. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West went to somebody's wedding, and Kim Kardashian had a lime green pattern of the dress on that stole a whole cake. What I will say, Ariana Grande had a stylist. Ariana Grande did not do her hair. Ariana Grande was just blessed to be invited to sing and give homage to the late, great Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. Her outfit and her imagery was totally up to her team and her management. I don't think she has any control over that decision because we can look at Cynthia and Ariana right now, looking green, sick, and wicked. And it is not by their choice. There is a management and a style team that is pushing it. That's all I got to say. Rest in peace, Aretha Franklin.
Johan, you want to go before me?
I have no comment.
Okay. So, funeral etiquette is ghetto. I just want to start by saying that first and foremost. Now, respectfully, yes, I feel like black is the go-to color, which Ariana hit out the park, no problem. But recently, I went to a funeral and they said don't wear black, and I thought,
Yeah,
okay,
the favorite
you said
color of the
yeah, so it's like in my head, so I was like, okay, I kind of fucked up my vibe a little bit because to me, black is in. You know, I love black, but they say they don't want you to wear black because it's a little sad, and I get that, no problem. Now, would I have showed up in a lime outfit? Absolutely not. Or something still not provocative, something still presentable, but it had a little black in it. You know, I'm gonna always be respectful. Um, Ariana didn't hurt nobody by hitting her vocals. Now, I do remember the clips because I didn't watch the funeral, but I remember the clips. Child Bill Clinton was happy to be behind that. He was. He was smiling. We can't
what?
deny that.
Was she rubbing up on his kneecap with a shoulder blade?
I was gonna say he was happy. Look, he was happy that there was a show in front of him,
Everybody
and
know
he
Ariana Grande is a Polly Pocket, baby.
exactly. But I'm trying to put myself in like a not to call him an old dirty man,
Shoulder
but
blade.
I'm trying to put myself in like an old man perspective. If you got something cute and fine in front of you, you gonna smile and you gonna look.
Oh no. Shoulder
You know,
blade sliding up and down my shin, not gonna make me feel good. That's gonna be
you
irritating.
talking about the dude that had the little grippy grip in there, right? It wasn't innocent, but it wasn't bad. I'm just gonna say that because I did see the clip and it was in an uproar. Everybody was like, "Oh, he copped the feel. He copped the feel." Be uncomfortable too if an old man is feeling on me, you know. But I feel like he was just being respectful, like because were y'all raised at the church? Because I was. Like, not to change the whole subject, but an example. When I would read the announcements and stuff, me being younger, a deacon would hold my hand to go down the stairs so I don't fall and bust my ass. So what I'm trying to say is I don't see anything wrong with what he did. Now, y'all probably have an issue because of the whole situation. The whole vision is she was wearing a scantily clad dress. I feel like that's what everybody wants to make it seem. That's what everybody's going to wrap it around. Now, if you just focus on her dress, yes, everything looks bad. Bill Clinton is staring, old dude trying to catch a feel, but that's not what it was. She was paying homage or homage, however you want to pronounce it, and she was just a product of her environment.
So
Hmm?
he was getting excited over his kneecap being rubbed by a blade of grass.
You know about Clinton?
Yes.
I didn't see Clinton touching. I just saw Clinton smiling. It was an old
Yes.
dude
So he was getting excited that he had a blade of grass on his kneecap.
in front of him. She wasn't necessarily on the lap.
He was
Let's not
excited
do that.
pocket that came into real life and was running it, huh?
You talking about Monica Lewinsky?
I'm talking about Ariana Grande.
Oh, so look, you
You
got
know,
to think this one. You got to pick a scandal, man. Pick a scandal.
hey, how I get up in this? How did I get up in this? I'm done with
Pick a scandal. I think he was just also a product of his environment. He was in. So
um,
you telling me? So you tell me right now, if I don't see Usher right here performing, I'm gonna look and I'm gonna smile. It's Usher.
he was fucking with Epstein in them, but I don't think this was that. But let me come
Mm,
to Ariana's defense one more time.
go ahead.
And I want Aretha to stay in the dirt after I say this. Aretha Franklin was fast. She used to wear
Mm.
short cut hymns her damn self, even though her father was a pastor of the church. So maybe Ariana was trying to give homage to the Queen's style. Because before Aretha got big, Aretha was fast. Thigh out, back busting, juicy, link popping on the grill. So maybe Ariana was just trying to give it up. But then hell, Ariana's so goddamn small, she could have had on a Baby Gap t-shirt. And it still was, anything was just too damn long. Then she would have been coming out looking like Cousin It from the Addams Family.
Clock it.
You see what I'm saying? So sometimes you can't win for losing. I'm just say that sometimes you can't win for losing.
Look here, cousin said he didn't have anything to say about it. I'm cool if y'all want to move on, amen.
We could, because look here, when you say that, and with that, we are officially closing the door on another episode of The Bubble Chat. We want to give a massive thank you to all of our, excuse me, excuse me, I'm gonna start over. All right. And with that, we are officially closing the door on another episode of The Bubble Chat. We want to give a massive thank you to all of you for spending your time with us today. Whether you're listening on your morning commute, at the gym, or just winding down at home, we never take it for granted that you have chosen to let us into your ears, your mind, and your energy. So we want to thank you for your support. And that is what keeps us going here at the Bubble Chat. And that's what keeps us, I'm sorry, nephew. These words is moving. Start all over.
Take 3.
And with that, we are officially closing the door on another motherfucking episode of the Bubble Chat. We want to give a great motherfucking thanks to all you guys out there spending time with us today. Whether you on your motherfucking commute, you at the gym, or just winding down at home at the end of the day. We never take it for granted that you have chosen us to let us into your ears. Your energy and your support are what keep this bubble from bursting. And we are so grateful for this community that we are all building together. If you enjoyed today's conversation, do us a huge favor. Why don't you hit that follow button? Why don't you leave a 5-star motherfucking review? And then share this episode with somebody that you know who needs to escape from the reality noise. And then let us know what y'all think about the topics we discussed. It's the best way to keep the show growing, and it keeps us moving around in the world to make a difference. You can also find us on social media to keep the conversation going. So we want to hear your takes on everything that we have talked about today. We'll be back next week with even more deep dives, fresh perspectives, and of course, a new surprise along the way. Until then, remember to protect your peace, stay curious, always keep an eye on what's happening.
Stay hydrated.
If you've been drinking and on medications. Mm-hmm. And keep your eye on what's happening inside the bubble. I am your host, Adonis Concierge, and this has been The Bubble Chat. Stay safe, stay real, and we'll catch you in the next. Peace.
Bye, y'all.